Welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you're a boutique agency owner carrying the weight of the entire business on your shoulders right now, you already know the pure exhaustion of hitting a growth ceiling. You're grinding, but the revenue just won't budge. So today, we're unpacking a really fascinating strategy from Stealth Stack Media. We're going to see exactly how this offer fundamentally changes how agencies scale, allowing you to break past that $2 million mark without taking on the massive risk and overhead of hiring an in-house team.
So let's just dive right into the core issue. Why do great agencies stay stuck? Well, we constantly see incredibly talented founders, the charismatic frontmen who cast the vision, build the relationships, and close the deals, hitting a massive wall. You are brilliant at your craft, but suddenly you find yourself personally bottlenecked. Every single client delivery issue lands right on your desk, and simultaneously, you're the only one actually driving the agency's growth. Ultimately, you become the ceiling of your own success.
Now, there are 4 specific bottlenecks keeping you stuck in this trap. First up is what we call referral roulette, that terrifying feast or famine cycle where your pipeline just completely dries up the second your network goes quiet. Then there's the capacity ceiling. This is where you literally have to say no to new revenue because, honestly, you can't be the media buyer, the SEO expert, and the creative director all at once. But the most painful part, that crushing $120,000 revenue leak, this happens when client results plateau after a few months, and your anchor clients end up churning. And all the while, you remain practically invisible online, watching louder, maybe even less talented competitors scoop up the deals you absolutely deserve.
All right, so that brings us to part 1, the 2 false solutions. When founders finally realize they need help scaling, they almost always fall into one of 2 traps. First, they try building an in-house team. But let's be real, this comes with massive fixed overhead, the absolute nightmare of managing new personalities, and constant quit risk. That looming fear that your star media buyer is just going to walk out the door. So what's the alternative? Well, people turn to typical white label shops, but the problem here is they only offer basic task execution. They don't give you holistic growth, and they certainly don't help you get more clients for your own agency. They just do exactly what you tell them to do, which means, you guessed it, you're still the bottleneck managing the overall strategy.
And to put the real cost of that first option into perspective, if you want to build a truly capable, multi-specialist in-house stack, we're talking a media buyer, an SEO specialist, a conversion rate optimizer, and a copywriter, you are looking at upwards of $300,000 a year in payroll. That is a massive, incredibly risky fixed cost trap that instantly destroys your profit margins before you've even actually scaled.
Which leads us perfectly into part 2, the invisible growth team.
This concept of the invisible growth team is really where we uncover Stealth Stack Media's definitive competitive edge. Unlike typical fulfillment shops that just do piecework, Stealth Stack plugs an entire growth division right in behind your brand. They engineer a complete, done-for-you system that handles your clients' results at an elite level while simultaneously driving your own agency's inbound pipeline. It's this incredibly powerful dual-engine approach. They fix your delivery and they fix your acquisition all at the same time.
And the core promise here is absolutely crucial because it empowers you as the market authority. Look, you want to maintain control. You want to protect your agency's reputation, and rightfully so. While Stealth Stack remains entirely stealth, they operate completely under your domain and your brand. They do all the heavy lifting in the background, and you get to keep 100% of the glory and the client relationship.
Let's move on to part 3, the 5 pillars of scaling.
So how exactly are they solving your problem? Well, this entire system separates into 2 distinct functions. The first 4 pillars are dedicated entirely to fixing your client delivery, meaning your clients stick around longer and pay you more. But the 5th pillar, and honestly this is what truly separates Stealth Stack from everyone else out there, is dedicated entirely to fixing your own acquisition, actively turning you into a dominant market leader. Let's break down that delivery engine first. These first 4 pillars give you enterprise-level capabilities literally overnight. You get high-level Meta and Google paid media, local SEO ranking systems, conversion rate optimization to get your clients way more leads from the exact same traffic, and an AI-powered creative engine for high-velocity ad testing. Basically, this allows you to expand your service menu instantly and completely eliminate that dreaded client performance plateau. And the best part? You do it all without having to manage a single new specialist yourself.
And then we have the acquisition engine. To make absolutely sure you never have to play referral roulette ever again, Stealth Stack deploys what they call the Founder Authority Pipeline.
They completely rebuild your LinkedIn profile, they ghostwrite high-level authority content on your behalf, and they generate a predictable inbound pipeline for you without you having to spend a single dime on ads. You basically stop being the invisible bottleneck and transform into the undeniable, omnipresent market leader, driving pre-sold inbound leads straight to your calendar.
Okay, let's check out part 4, the stealth mode and timeline.
Now, obviously, none of this matters if it exposes your agency, right? Which is why the stealth moat guarantees absolute confidentiality. We're talking ironclad NDAs signed before day one. All reporting, assets, and communications shipped strictly under your brand and your specific email domain. And there is absolutely zero direct contact with your clients. As far as your clients are concerned, they will only ever see your agency delivering these incredible expanded results.
And from a practical standpoint, this builds out with virtually zero time delay. Your entire new growth division starts getting built within 48 hours of your acceptance. By day 14, the white label delivery engine is fully installed. By week 3, your client's results actually begin compounding. And by day 30, your own founder authority pipeline goes live. So the entire system is up, running, and fully operational in just 1 month. And to completely de-risk this entire transition for you, StealthStack Media backs their system with a really aggressive 14-day launch guarantee. Literally, if your clients' campaigns aren't live and your own authority pipeline isn't active within 14 days, your first month is entirely free. They are putting their money where their mouth is to ensure you aren't just paying for empty promises, you are paying for immediate, tangible execution.
Finally, let's wrap things up with part 5, claim your agency's spot.
Because of the intense, done-for-you nature of this partnership, StealthStack Media only accepts 3 new agency partners per quarter. That's it, just 3. This strict app is specifically to ensure that their delivery remains absolutely flawless for the agencies they do partner with. And as you can imagine, these exclusive spots fill up incredibly fast.
So if you're bleeding $120,000 a year in churn, and you're exhausted from hitting that same massive capacity ceiling, it is time to plug in the Invisible Growth Team. Just click the link below to book your zero-obligation, confidential audit today. But before you go, I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. If your agency magically doubled its client load tomorrow, would your current systems actually make you richer, or would they just break you completely? Click the link below and let's make sure it's the former.